They didn't come when I bled. It came when I screamed. Isn't it funny? You go quiet for too long, and they start to act like they care when the noise finally erupts. But where were they? When the silence was killing me? No, don't twist your tongue now. Don't feed me that tired line, I'm sorry. I've heard it before. So many times, it's practically a lullaby to my trauma. You weren't sorry when I broke in the dark. You were silent. You weren't sorry when I begged the universe. For a single sign of life, you were gone. You weren't sorry when I became a stranger to myself. You were comfortable in your noise, in your peace, in your distance. And I was choking. On words I couldn't say. On tears I couldn't let fall. On rage I couldn't afford to release. So I drowned quietly. I sank in the silence you gifted me. And just when I hit the bottom, it tossed me a sorry like it would float. You know what that feels like? To be handed a bandage after the bleeding stops, to be offered comfort. After the soul's already dead, I didn't know you were hurting. That's what you'll say. But I did. I knew I was hurting, felt every fracture, every echo. Every time I looked around and realized no one was listening, because no one cared to hear the quiet screams. You see, the silence didn't just hurt, it rewired me. It rewrote everything I thought I was. It showed me that love has conditions, that loyalty has limits, that people don't rescue, they wait. They wait until you're barely human, until you're just a collection of scars held together by breath, and then they remember you exist. So, don't apologize. Not now. Not when the damage is carved into my skin like scripture. Not when your absence raised me more than your presence ever did. I didn't just survive your silence. I became something in it. Something colder. Something clearer. Something you can't apologize away. You want forgiveness? Find it in someone softer. I'm not made of forgiveness anymore. I'm made of echoes. The ones you left behind. The ones I screamed into empty rooms. The ones that never got answers. It's only walls. This isn't some redemption arc. This isn't where I hug it out and let it go. No, this is where I begin, where I speak, where I scream louder than your comfort, because you weren't there when I needed you, and now that I no longer need anyone, now that I've stitched myself back together with rage and resolve, you want to speak? You want to offer me? Peace. It's shove it. Bury it next to the silence you gave me. I don't want apologies. I want the sound of your regret bouncing off the walls you helped build around me. I want the silence you gave me to scream back at you, and it will. Oh, it will. Because now, I know how to make silence loud. Now I've become the scream, so next time you whisper that pathetic sorry under your breath, ask yourself, do you really think I didn't hear it? Or did I just not care to answer? Apologies are for accidents, for slip-ups, for spilled milk and broken plates. But what you did, that wasn't a mistake. It was a choice. Sharp, calculated, and cold. So, don't come to me with your trembling lips and those two little words you think can undo it all. Don't whisper I'm sorry like it's a spell that rewinds time. Like it can reach into my chest and erase what it shattered. No, you don't get to be sorry, because I remember everything. The looks, the silence, the way you stood there, still as I fell apart. The way your hands stayed clean while mine bled from holding on, and now you want to clean your conscience with words. You think sorry is currency here? My pain isn't something you can refund. They said sorry. I said nothing. They said sorry. I bled. They said sorry. I burned. Again and again. And again, every apology was a slap wrapped in silk, a lie with perfume, a dagger made of glass, beautiful, delicate, deadly. You don't apologize after you set the fire. You don't get to say I didn't mean it when the ashes are still choking me, when my lungs still carry the smoke of your betrayal. You want to say sorry now? Now that I've built something from the rubble? Now that I've grown fangs in place of the tongue I bit for years? Where was your sorry when? I screamed into pillows until my voice cracked. Where was it when I begged the night to end? But it didn't. Your apology came too late, too soft, too easy, because scars don't accept sorry. They don't fade when you speak. They don't forgive. They don't forget. They remember every cut, every tear, every silence, and so do I. You see, pain has a voice now, mine. It no longer trembles. It no longer asks. It demands. It devours. It declares. This is not about healing. This is not about closure. This is about truth. And the truth is this. You broke something in me and expected me to fix it with forgiveness. But forgiveness isn't survival. Forgiveness didn't hold me when I shook. Forgiveness didn't clean the blood off my soul. I did that. With grit. With rage. With silence. You weren't there for the rebuilding. So don't expect to be there for the peace. You think your apology deserves a place in my story? Then write it in the margins? Because the headline now is me. Stronger, colder, untouchable. I don't need your words. Them. They mean nothing in the empire I built from agony. I built this kingdom with pain as my bricks and vengeance as my mortar. And in this kingdom, apologies are useless. Because scars don't speak your language. They don't hear regret. They hear the echoes of every time you turned away, every time you watched me fall and smiled. So don't insult me with sorry. Try to dress your guilt in empathy. Keep your sorrow. Wear it. Let it rot inside you. Because I'm done pretending it ever mattered. I won't be your redemption arc. I won't be your peace offering. I won't carry your shame to make you feel lighter. This is the version of me your silence created. This is the voice your absence gave birth to. And this voice, it doesn't bend. It doesn't forgive. It doesn't forget. So say sorry. Scream it if you want. But understand this. I don't hear you anymore. I only hear the echoes of my own strength and your apology. Just noise. There was a day, a quiet one, not stormy, not loud. Still, and in that stillness, I realized something. I had been whispering my whole life, whispering my pain, whispering my worth, whispering my truth, as if the world would shatter if I ever dared to speak it loud. But they didn't hear me. They never did. 'Cause whispers get ignored. Whispers get buried. Whispers die in echo chambers. They heard nothing. Because I whispered. I thought silence made me strong. I thought swallowing screams made me noble. I thought being quiet made me worthy. But it only made me invisible. And what's worse than pain, being erased by it, being forgotten inside it. That's when something inside me cracked. No, split. Like a scream tearing through glass. Like a fire igniting in a room soaked in gasoline. I looked in the mirror, and I saw the ashes of who I used to be. Not burned. Reborn. They wanted me mute. I gave them music. They wanted me still. I gave them a storm. They wanted me silent. It became the scream. Every breath you took from me, I turned into a war. Cry. Every ounce of control you stole. I reclaimed with fire in my lungs. No more shrinking. No more smiling through clenched teeth. No more pretending that the silence was peace. It wasn't. It was submission. And I don't submit anymore. I used to fear the sound of my own rage. Now I orchestrate it. Every scream is a symphony. Every growl is a verse. Every breath, battle. Drum. You want to know what changed? I stopped waiting, stopped hoping, stopped whispering. Because the world doesn't give power to the quiet. It devours them, consumes them, then forgets them. But me, I refused to be forgotten. I etched my voice into the bones of my enemies. I carved my truth into the walls they built around me. And when I speak now, the walls tremble. Because now I don't just speak, I scream. Let them hear me. Let them flinch. Let them cover their ears if they must. But they will never ignore me again. This is the day I stopped whispering. This is the day I claimed my noise. This is the day I realized. My silence was never strength. My voice is. My rage is. I am. They didn't call me dangerous until I stopped crying. They didn't call me cold till I stopped explaining myself. They didn't call me a villain till I stopped playing the victim. Isn't that something? The moment you choose power, over pity, you're suddenly the problem. But let me tell you something they never want to admit. Villains aren't born. They're made. Made in silence. Made in betrayal. It's made in echoes of apologies that never came. They sculpted me with their indifference. They carved this grin into my soul with every broken promise. And when I rose from the ashes with no smile left to give, they said I'd changed. No, I didn't change. I remembered who I am, and what I'll never be again. They call me heartless, but I gave them my heart. They buried it, and blamed me for living without it. They say I burned bridges, but they were the ones who lit the match and handed me the torch. They say I'm cold. No, I'm precise. I don't flinch anymore. I don't beg. Heroes beg. I don't. I don't need your approval. I don't need your forgiveness. I need nothing. Because I've seen what needing gets you: a leash, a cage, a slow death disguised as loyalty. What they call destruction, I call justice. What they call chaos, I call clarity. What they fear, I became. Let them fear. Let them whisper. Let them pray for the version of me they once knew. That version died in the dark. I buried it under every lie I was forced to swallow. And from that grave I rose with fangs. I've been called too much. Too intense. Too cold. Too loud. Too dark. But I was never too much. I was always too real for their comfort. Wolves in sheep's clothing. That's what they were. Smiling while they fed on me. Bleeding me dry under the mask of love. So I became the howl they couldn't tame. The shadow that walks behind their guilt. The villain in their rewritten story. But I'm not ashamed. I'm not hiding. And I'm not asking for redemption. I'm the product of everything they tried to silence. I'm the answer to every wound they laughed at. I'm the echo of every scream they ignored. So go ahead. Call me the villain. Say it with fear in your voice. Say it with trembling hands. Because now, I wear that title like armor. I don't want to be your hero. I want to be your lesson. Because the world doesn't change for the gentle. Kneels for the relentless. So let them talk. Let them paint me black. Let them twist my story into something ugly. It won't matter, because I don't live in their story anymore. I write my own. In blood. In fire. In echoes. Villains aren't born. They're made. And now, I make the rules. You gave me fire. And I learned to dance in it. Not run, not scream. Dance because pain became rhythm. Rage became melody. And your betrayal, it became the drumbeat. That kept me alive. You wanted me to break. I didn't. You wanted me to kneel. I rose. You wanted me to go quiet. Now I'm loud enough to wake the dead. Let your gods watch. Let your angels weep. Let heaven close its eyes, because I will burn through every lie you fed me. Every, you're not enough. Every, stay small. Every, you're too much. I heard them all, and I swallowed them whole. Now they burn in me. Now they fuel me. Now I am the fire. You mistook silence for weakness. You mistook restraint for peace. You thought I wouldn't fight back? You were wrong. Your apologies were whispers. My answer is thunder. Do you hear it? That crack in the sky? A tremor under your feet? That's me. That's every scream I silenced for your comfort. Every tear I buried for your convenience. Every truth I bit back so you could sleep easier at night now. The storm has a name, mine. Now the fire has a voice, mine, and it doesn't ask. It consumes. Let the world stare. Let the cowards run. I am not here for mercy. I am not here to be liked. I am here to end the cycle. This is not revenge. This is reclamation. This is balance, and balance doesn't whisper. Balance roars. I'm not warning you. I'm declaring. I am the scream you tried to silence. I am the wrath you tried to shame. I am the child of every wound you denied. I am the reckoning you never thought would come. You taught me pain. Now watch me teach it back. Let the smoke rise. Let the sky darken. Let the ground split open beneath your lies. Because I'm not hiding anymore. I'm ascending through fire. Through fury. Through every scar you etched into me like art. And when I walk through your world, I won't tiptoe. I'll stomp. I'll scream. a laugh, because what was once suffering is now power. You want silence? Then go pray. Go kneel in the temple of the broken things you left behind. But don't ask for peace, not from me. I'm not your closure. I'm your consequence. I'm not your memory. I'm your monster, and I don't fade. This is your fire. This is what you lit. But I am what it made. Let the world hear me burn. Let them write songs about the flames. Let them cry about the heat. Won't turn it down. I won't apologize. I won't go quiet. Not this time. Not ever again. Let them build walls. I'll turn them to ash. Let them run. I'll outrun their shadows. Let them scream. I'll echo louder, because now I don't just survive. I dominate. I am not what they expected. I am what they created. And I promise, the sound of me burning will be the loudest silence they've ever known. You said sorry, said goodbye. You screamed. I smiled. You ran. I remained. Isn't that what always scared you? Not that I'd break, but that I'd survive. That I'd rise. That I'd learn to live without you, without the lies, the games, the masks. You see, I used to crave silence. I begged for peace, for things to stop hurting, for the noise to go away. But silence was a lie. Silence was the cage you left me in. No sound, no light, just echoes of everything you never meant, and everything I was too loyal to walk away from. But now, I don't want silence anymore. I want echoes. Echoes of your fear, of your guilt, of your regret. I want every hallway you walk down to remember my name. Every corner you turn to feel colder because I once stood there. It's every reflection to flinch because it knows what it did. Because I'm not the shadow anymore. I am the echo. I don't fade when the lights go out. I speak when the world goes still. I linger when everyone else has fled. You tried to run from what you did, but you'll never outrun me, 'cause echoes don't vanish. They follow. They haunt. They multiply. You thought it ended when you walked away, when you muttered that empty, trembling sorry, but I never asked for your apology. I only waited for the moment you'd hear mine, and here it is, shaped like thunder, sharpened by truth. Wrapped in fire, you screamed, smiled, you collapsed. I evolved. You bled. Yeah. And I remembered how it felt when I did, but unlike you, I didn't scream for help. I didn't run. I rebuilt, alone, silently, and now, permanently. There's no going back, no second chances, no rewinds. This version of me doesn't forgive. It doesn't forget. It doesn't whisper. It echoes, louder, darker. Forever let the world spin. Let the liars sleep. Let the angels beg. I'll be in the background, not as a ghost, but as a reminder, a warning, a consequence, a voice that never dies. Because I am the sound you thought you silenced. I am the memory you tried to erase. I am the proof that the broken don't stay. Broken, they burn, they build, they become, so remember me in every silence, in every nightmare, in every scream you try to swallow. Because I am the echo now. And echoes never ask for permission. They take space. They fill rooms. They replace everything that used to feel safe. I am the echo of every scream you thought no one would hear. And now, F***, CK, your apologies? I want echoes when you scream.